We got classics, we got new stories, wild worlds to view. Samurai, swords to Macamite. Every episode ignite the night. Hurry up, get ready to go. Feel the hype, it's about to flow. Anime unlock, turn it up. Energy blast, fill your cup. Anime unlock, turn it up. Energy blast, fill your cup. Old school, new school, never stop. It's a vibe, it's a drop, it's a bop, bop, bop. From the ninjas in the hidden mist to the stars where the myths exist. Villains rise, heroes fight, we're breaking it down every night. Enemy dreams in neon glow. Unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. We got new stories, wild worlds to view. Samurai, swords to Macamite. Every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go. Feel the hype, it's about to flow. Samurai sword, ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go. Feel the hype, it's about to flow. To view, samurai swords to next to met the night. Every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go. Feel the hype, it's about to fall. Old school, new school, never stop. It's a vibe, it's a drop, it's a bop, bop, bop. From the ninjas in the hidden mist to the stars where the myths exist. Villains rise, heroes fight, we're breaking it down every night. Anime dreams in neon glow. Unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. Lights flash, feel the bass, feel the smash. Black David Wally in the zone. Anime unlocked, you're not alone. We got classics, we got new stories, wild worlds to view. Samurai swords to Macamite. Every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go. Feel the hype, it's about to flow. Samurai swords to Macamite. Every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go. Feel the hype, it's about to flow. Anime unlock, turn it up. Energy blast, fill your cup. Old school, new school, never stop. It's a vibe, it's a drop, it's a pop, pop, pop. From the ninjas in the hidden mist to the stars where the myths exist. Villains rise, heroes fight. We're breaking it down every night. Anime dreams in neon glow. Unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. Anime dreams in neon glow. Unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. Anime dreams in neon glow. Unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Friday, November 14th, 2025. How you guys doing? We're at the beginning of the weekend. Hope you guys okay. This is CBN Tech Talk, also known as Black David, also known as Bear Paul, and we are broadcasting live on Sparta HQ Network. It's not easy, I'll be honest with you guys. When I heard about this week, about these two individuals, it was not easy to not to think about it too hard. People to understand something about this individual. A major icon in the gaming industry and anime industry. Kazuki Motoyama created the Mario Butter franchise. He made it what it is. The dude passed away. The other guy, his name is Tatsuya Nagamine. He was the director for the Dragon Ball Z movie, Broly's. As well, he's the director for the One Piece Wano arc. He's the head director. Let me share my screen so you're gonna know what I'm talking about. Give me a second. Let's see. I don't have the picture for Tatsuya, director for the Dragon Ball Z movie. and the one while we had this individual here, Kazuki Motoyama. He the actual creator of the Super Mario Bros. Which is not easy, but if you are touched by the guy's work, you understand what I'm talking about. So let me drop this thing down. I'll go to bring it back up. So now we got that out of the way. I'm sure you wonder why we had this subject called Who Are the Emperors of Anime? And I'm hoping maybe people who are anime geek want to come on the panel and debate my topic or my reading behind it. But there's a significant behind why this has been a discussion, right? I'm going to share my screen because this has been something that me and Wally have noticed that this has been going on for quite a decade right now. So let me see if I can play this so you're gonna tell what I'm talking about. Hope you guys can hear it.
What is your personal anime Mount Rushmore?
Jujutsu Kaisen, Slayer. Demon Slayer.
Which one? OST.
Attack on Titan.
Which
Jujutsu Kaisen made into live action.
which one has the best character development?
Maybe Demon
Has the best husbandos.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Demon Slayer. And
You love about Attack on Titan so much.
just the character development, it gives you what they go through.
What is your personal anime Mount Rushmore?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is her own personal opinion. Her anime Mount Rushmore, right? Fine. Whatever. Because we have seen a lot of things that people have been saying or putting out some BS for a while. And people are talking about One Piece had the word pacing or they overlook One Piece. But little did they know One Piece started back in 1999. Had been going on for 25 years. How old she is. Because when you talk about character creation, One Piece is have a master class of character creation, character development, world building, and beyond. Hands down. Ain't not much anime out there that can even come toe to toe what One Piece is doing. But for some people, you know how people don't really do their homework, or they have their own bias. I'll leave that alone. I ain't too worried about it. There were people who were disrespecting Bleach. Talk about Bleach is whack, right? I'm gonna play this one so you see what I'm talking about.
Why is Bleach on this list?
No, you.
Run that back. Run it. Hold up. Refresh.
Why some of y'all opinions, bro? Why is Bleach?
Okay. This says the 4 emperors of
Anime.
I'm assuming they just meant anime. One Piece, Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're asking why Bleach is on the list? Your question
Yeah.
is why is Bleach on the list?
Mm-hmm.
Bleach. Ichigo.
Yeah.
We're Soul
Yeah.
Reapers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bankai. Getsuga. We're asking why that's on the list. But we're not asking why JJK is on the list. Further question, all right? We already know who the big 3 is. We ain't got to go over that. If we're talking about the 4 emperors of anime, which doesn't exist, by the way, let's just put that out there. But hypothetically speaking, why is Dragon Ball not on the list? That's my question. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? And also, I would even argue that some of the big 3 probably shouldn't be up. Astro Boy needs to be up there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, if we're talking facts. If we're talking FACTS. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? You know what? Scrap it. If we're talking about 4 animes that pushed anime to the point of where it's at today, it would be actually One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and Dragon Ball. So, like, what are we, you know what I'm saying? But you're questioning Bleach and not JJ. Cool, bro. It's cool. JJK is cool. Emperor? I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. God loves all of you, and don't forget that.
Why is Bleach on this list?
Imagine the outburst he had there. I remember clearly when Wale showed me the content. And I'm about to go off on a handle. I'm going to go off on a handle. Jujutsu Kaisen, Emperor. Don't get me wrong. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. I like the progression of it. I like how the thing, but Emperor? That's too far away. Nah. It's not on that level yet to be considered to be an emperor because let's be crystal clear. We have done shows talking about the foundation. Because now I may have to do this now going forward. I may have to go back, bring up Pat from our shows that we discussed about concerning what you consider. This is why I want to get on this topic so bad. And I say I'll start bringing the receipt. I wasn't playing around with this because this is not something that you just pass over, right? Eric said, let's show what Eric said over here. For Mount Rushmore of anime manga creator, we had to put Osamu Tezuka and Leiji Matsumoto. Now, Eric is not wrong. When he put that out there, he is not wrong whatsoever. He is not wrong. Hey, Mariana, how you doing? This I'm not gonna play around with though. But I got real sick and tired of being sick and tired, beyond being sick and tired, when people don't really do their homework when you're dealing with anime. Hmm? You don't know shit about anime, and they're brand new, or they're 1 year in, maybe 2 year in, maybe 3 or 4 years in, and don't realize there is a foundation that was built over time concerning anime. Which is the big deal. A very, very, very big deal. And I had an issue with that. If you're coming, you're watching, right? I hope you stay in the chat room and you put out. Please be honest. What would you consider to be your so-called Mount Rushmore of anime? Be honest here. What do you think would be the authentic Mount Rushmore anime? Because you cannot be out here spewing nonsense, talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. No, it's a great anime, but it's not Emperor like. Oh, Attack on Titan. Oh, it's a great anime, but it's not Emperor like. Let's stop that BS. There are a lot of contenders, so to speak, right? Where people want to go out there and talk about, oh, it should be the Emperor, right? I'm trying to find a clip from my past show with there is a criteria when we're talking about. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I find it on here because we talk about what will be considered to be the big three of each era. And it is very, very critical. It was a critical topic. It wasn't something that's straightforward, but it was something that let me know. Peter said Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Peter mentioned two of the emperors of anime. That's what he did. He mentioned two emperors of anime. I give him that, but there are four, I believe. There were four emperors of anime that not only paved the way, but it put a foundation on this. And I'm be honest there, I'm be very critical. I might be biased, whatever, but I'm not gonna be biased. But I had to call it out. If it's a spade, it's a spade. I'll call it out and say this is what it is. Shit is lame, this shit is stupid, wasn't thought through, don't know what they're talking about. They're assuming bullshit. They want to make it seem like, yeah. I found a clip, the big three. We did a show on what the exact date? 3 weeks ago. So the big three, the Shonen Dynasty, right? And I want to find a particular area. Dark Knight, you're not the emperor, so don't even go there. Yeah, One Piece is one of those. But don't worry. I want to get to that clip and where I show what we were talking about. Because the thing about anime, okay, I'm going to share right now. I found what I was looking for. And this is something that make me want to do podcast in a way that we're not playing around with this bullshit. Everybody want to be biased, but we cannot be biased. Because if anybody who really understands anime and knows anime very, very well, they will know that the active publication. Let me see if I can enlarge this bad boy so everybody can see. There's a publication in Japan that go out every single week. And that publication goes heavy. When I mean heavy, it goes heavy on not just anime, but manga as well. And they always push an article about upcoming anime, upcoming manga, on the with production, with publishers, whatsoever, so on and so forth. This was the merit that it being based on what it considered to be the big three. And I'm sure a lot of people in the anime community don't know anything about it. Maybe some do, maybe some don't, but I'm going to read it out to you. There are 3 criteria for the big three that is more than just a list of 3 popular shows. Let's get that clear. It's a historical concept, and this was established on Shonen Jump magazine publication, which is based in Japan. It's not based about American culture or any other industry out here. So if you remember correctly, it's called Japanese animation, which is based from what? Japan. That's something we have to understand and know that. Let's keep that quickly clear. If you read in Shonen Jump, if you read their magazine, if you get hold of it, if you see it online, they talk heavy about anime. So look at this one. But the big three is more than just a list of 3 popular shows. It's a historical concept. It's a cycle that repeats itself across the decades of animes, right? The key definition, the big three is a designation given to the 3 most dominant. On you got here again. The 3 most dominant and culturally preserved ongoing. The term ongoing shonen or shonen adjacent title of a given era. We did this show 3 weeks ago. You get the chance to watch it. They talk about not only when it first started, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010. We're in 2020s now. And we're not over with the 2020 because we don't know who will continue to be the big three of this era yet. But there's a couple of names running on that list. So the first merit, right, is cell and longevity. I want people to put that in mind when we're dealing with big three, before we talk about the emperors. Cell and longevity, they must dominate the cell chart, often for a single publisher, historically Shonen Jump. Metric number 2, cultural saturation. This must reach beyond the core fandom, spawning endless merchandise, defining cosplaying convention. You talk about Comic Con and Anime Con. That is what we are referring to, becoming a household name globally. Metric number 3, the Kingmaker. They collectively set the narrative and artistic trend that future title follows or react against. Right? Let me hide this comment down here. They define the looks and the feel of anime for their decades. And we did this. We first started with the 2000s. Then we jumped to the beginning when it first started, in the 60s. Then we did the 70s. We did the 80s. We did the 90s. We did the 2010. But while we did all those decades, we also put honorable mention, right? Fine. Those were the big 3 for each decade, for each era. Now you're talking about the emperor. Is this what we are dealing with, the big 3? Who do you think the emperor gonna be then? Let's put that in perspective right now. I had to bring that screenshot. And not the screenshot, I paused it there. But I had to bring it to you people attention. Because I know everybody have their own opinion on Mount Rushmore. Because we had a show a while back when we talk about the Mount Rushmore for WWE wrestlers. Let's be real. If you're a fan of wrestling, you watch WWE, before with WWE or WWF, WCW, AEW, TNA, went to Impact, back to TNA, Ring of Honor Wrestling, Defy Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestling Nora, so on and so forth. When we talk about Mount Rushmore, who do they normally name? The most current wrestler that you see today, or the wrestler that paved the way for everybody else? I want people to get an understanding about that. Because people don't understand when we want to talk about Emperor, people want to be stupid about it. I didn't give you that aspect of wrestling. We do the same thing with basketball. Who the Mount Rushmore for basketball? Everybody talk about Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, right? Larry Bird, Dr. J, right? They mentioned iconic players who paved the way for a future player to be, right? So, if you want to talk about the emperor of anime, who do you think we will be naming in the conversation? Because I know we have new fans that come into anime and will talk that bullshit. But they didn't realize they didn't do their homework, that there was certain anime that paved the path for future anime to follow after. There are anime that paved the path, that broke grounds. That clip that I played, the dude was batting out. So you put Jujutsu Kaisen as Emperor? Like, you serious? Like, why Dragon Ball's not there? Good question. Bleach has the right to be there. And I hate Peter was right about this one. And he said, Gundam did pay away to, oh, don't forget Gundam. But we find people like to mention newer anime as if they paid the way for other anime, but you don't realize there's a long and huge library. We did a show about this, of what broke anime to the Western world. There was Inuyasha. There was Bleach. There was Mobile Suit Gundam. There was Dragon Ball. We had Pokemon. We had Digimon. Oh, let me not forget Akira. Fate of the North Star. I can go on. But I notice a lot of people who get into the anime community don't never do their homework. They never do their groundwork, and they mention the newer anime as if it's better than the older anime, but not realize it was the older anime that built the foundation for new anime to exist. Let's keep that shit real. Because Eric went a little deeper than what it is, right? He mentioned Masamune Shiro, Kenichi Sonoda, Katsuhiro Otomo, and Go Nagai are also the big name to consider. These are creators, manga writers, anime creators that create the anime that we watch and create the foundation for other future anime to follow by. Astro Boy. Astro Boy was one of the first anime. Mobile Suit Gundam started in the late 60s, early 70s. Not sure how to. Oh, now One Piece. Everybody know that One Piece have been running for more than 25 years. One of the longest modern anime that we know today. But while we were doing our show, while we were doing our homework, we found out there were two other animes that started in the 60s and 70s and still going, and it's still airing to this day. But it's not broadcast on our end. That's the difference. That's the scary part about it. It's not showing up on our end. So imagine how that played out. Do you know how many anime that came out during the 90s when they first came out on what channel you want to call it? Ah, yes, Cartoon Network. Right? Wale, you always do your homework. Wale brought some name to my attention. Hajime no Impo. My son watched that. That's anime based on boxing. Cool ass anime. Came out in 2000. We have Fruit Basket. Came out in 2001. Inuyasha started in 2000. Digimon Tamer. Ghost in the Shell. Standalone Complex. The 12th Kingdom. Real names. Wolf Rain. Gunslinger Girl. Full Metal Panic. That is cool right there. We got Monster. Samurai Champloo. FN Lead. Count of Monte Cristo. You got Mushishi. Eureka 7. I'm just randomly picking up names. There's a lot more names out here. But the thing that people don't understand is this. You cannot be bullshitting here and assume things without doing your homework. So tell me, if you're in the audience, what you think will be considered to be the emperor of anime? What do you think will be considered to be the Mount Rushmore of anime? Because you can't say you have a Mount Rushmore of anime and you pick in newer anime and not speak about the anime that built the foundation for these modern anime you have today. Tell me if I'm wrong here. I waited for my partner to come up because he got a lot to share today. He's not gonna be just me alone speaking on this thing. And this is something I had a pet peeve. I've seen so many clips talking nonsense about Ultimate Anime. Oh, Inuyasha's not whack. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Bleach is not whack. I don't know what you're talking about. One Piece is too long. Okay, One Piece is too long, but One Piece has been the big threes on multiple era. Yet it have about 1,149 episodes and counting. One of the longest modern day anime that been running for 25 years. With extensive character creation, extensive character development, extensive world building. But you had to get crapped on. Oh, it's too long. It did. I don't know what you're talking about. Dragon Ball is another well-known anime that laid the foundation. Mobile Suit Gundam, Astro Boy, Big O, Saint Seiya. Well, Saint Seiya is another franchise people sleep on. I hate Pokemon, let's be real. I'm gonna be biased on this part. I hate Pokemon even though it's one of the biggest money making anime of its time. Ladies, if I offend you, then I'll offend you on this part. But Pokemon is straight pimping. Well, pimping the kids, get them about line. If you were a parent, or you knew a parent that know the parent, when they hear that song, who are that Pokemon? No, not commercial. It's like some kind of side education, whatever you want to call it, which I can't call it that way. That thing was going to the point whereby a lot of young kids, Mommy, Daddy, I want a Pokemon. I want a Pokemon was one of the biggest franchise of its time in anime. Until it got worse. And they developed a game called, yes, I'm sure you got aware of, Pokemon Go. Whereby you catch a Pokemon on an app using your phone. If everybody remember the time they had a rare Pokemon, probably located in Central Park. I remember on the news when tons of people was rushing in Central Park trying to catch that rare Pokemon. That was a moneymaker scheme. But I cannot argue. Pokemon can be considered as one of the emperor of anime, which sucks. But the longest running. Eric told me that Inuyasha was created. Hold on. I want to highlight the conversation. The comment, sorry. The Inuyasha was created by Rumiko Takahashi. And she had a huge body of work, had to work other than that. Meaning, before she did Inuyasha, there was other anime that she worked on. Which is factual. My concern is this. If we want to establish a fundamental guideline, what to be considered the emperor, we have to have some strict rules. It cannot be BS. It just cannot. People are trying newer anime, but forget about the old ones. I met an Astro Boy. Big deal. Big O is there. Saint Seiya is there. Pokemon is there. Digimon is there. Badashi Yamoto is there. Did a good. If you don't want to put a candidacy for the Emperor of Anime, there will be at least 15 or 20 of them in the running. And this is something that has started that built the popularity of anime, what it is when it first came here in the late early 90s. You can't brush out that fact. If you were watching Cartoon Network back in the 90s, and they had a thing called Toonami. Remember that? Toonami. What was the lineup that you were watching on Toonami? If anyone can remember that, please let me know. Eric, Dark Knight, Paul Bennett, anyone in the show. During the anime boom, when it first broke ground in the Western world, aka United States, if you were watching Toonami, what were the shows that popped up in Toonami? Please, enlighten me. If you can remember the names of those shows that air on Cartoon Network under Toonami, I want you to ask me if you remember. If those anime didn't break ground, what anime that come here and made an impact? Around the time it was being produced around that era. I know when they came with Dragon Ball, see? If you might have watched the Japanese version of Dragon Ball, you'll find out the soundtrack is not the same as the American Dragon Ball. The Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z had its own theme song with a more Japanese vibe. In the US, when they had Dragon Ball first came out, it was like Dragon Ball Z. It had a little edgy rock and roll theme song, make it sound very gritty. But I was like, oh, thank you. Cowboy Bebop. We cannot, I'm sorry, lady, we cannot overlook that. We just can't. As I said before that, I almost forgot about Hayao Miyazaki. And he remember sit on a mountaintop. Yeah, he's done a lot of work in the anime industry. So I want people who are coming in, passing by, looking to the conversation, I want you to put it in a comment while the show is going on. Who do you think will be considered to be the emperor of anime? Would not have made a gigantic impact in the anime community, but I set a standard, set a trend for other future anime to follow. Because I want people to go back 3 weeks ago and watch we do the show called The Big Three. Not only watch, but also listen of those who are voted in that victory, but also listen to the list afterward. If you can recognize those anime, what are all the impact it had in your life? Because I will tell you this, I'm not gonna tolerate somebody come out of their mouth and say Jujutsu Kaisen can be the emperor. I'm not gonna play that. Now let me know you don't know jack about anime. Just stay out of it. I got nothing against Sailor Moon, but Sailor Moon was a very cool anime for the ladies. Hello. I'm not turning that thing with the 10-foot pole. You can count me out. But that was the gist of things. So I need someone to let me know, who do you think that should be considered the emperor of anime and why? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Give me some names and see if I would agree with you or not. Eric's like an encyclopedia. He watched a lot of animes. Either as much as I have, either a little bit more than me or less than me. But there are some big name anime that you cannot overlook, cannot sleep upon them and be like, nah, it's not what you think. No, you cannot do that. But today, time we have some great anime, so level with one. And my brain went blank. It's not happening that long. There's a couple of runners in this year that have been very good, but it's not going to be the Emperor. I'm not going to do that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Wally. Come to the stage.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good.
So far, I have spoken on a lot of things. I have brought my argument concerning how you go about choosing the Emperor of anime, but I also brought out a clip from a show we did 3 weeks ago about the big three of anime. So how will you address the issue about how are we picking the Emperor of anime, and based on what method are we going by?
Well, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I got a little bit sick, so that's why I was a little bit late, because I was pretty much getting dizzy. So I was pretty much, a little bit out of it at the time. So I wasn't able to come on time, but also I wasn't able to finish the presentation that needed to be done. But as far as the idea of how was I going to present the idea, now sadly enough, I didn't fully get it done, but hold on, let me see if I can pull up just where the ideas wrapped around it. So this is what the basic concept is, right? The term emperors of anime, generally understood in fan communities or critical discussions to refer to a select group of influential, dominating, or iconic characters who symbolize exceptional power, status, or cultural importance within their respective series. The key phrases key words to remember: influential, dominant, iconic characters, power/status, and cultural importance. That's what I was told I'm going to base it on.
And what about the sales? Does that matter?
You said sales.
Yeah.
Wouldn't sales go to the idea of power and status?
Okay, you're right. Continue.
And then to top it off, that would go into cultural impact, because again, your sales tells you a cultural impact to the side. So, sorry guys, give me a minute.
You can give me some tea, because I'll try not to get angry on their conversation when I play that clip from the guy who spazzed out on our behalf, and I wanted to spazz out too, like Jujutsu Kaisen.
This was the reason. Yeah.
That
part of the reason that got me up here was seeing you doing things. I was like, Lord have mercy, get the top.
So I'm glad he spazzed out, because I would have done worse.
I bet you would have. Am I actually? I'm going to talk to you in the back. Actually, no, I'm not going to start. But look, the overall wrenching conversation of this was to talk about the idea of what is, quote unquote, in terms of who are the emperors of anime, right? Like, who are the forgers in it, ideals, and everything else. What I originally wanted to do with this was stand on the idea of in each genre factor, but we'll do that on a different discussion on a different time, because I wasn't able to do all that in time. But as far as the conversation at whole amongst the clip, right? You saw the four. You saw One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and then Jujutsu Kaisen. If you don't know, the person in the clip That is Jalopy Bungus. He's into anime while as also a musical artist that reflects on the musical industry overall, as far as in the space of hip hop for majority of it, if I'm not mistaken. And he made his standpoint on the idea of why Bleach is up there, which again, I don't know how far in depth of anime he's into, but he does make some good standpoints in anime time to time that I've seen. This one is questionable about his thought process or where he ultimately got into anime, for me at least. Of course, David as well, but yeah. But he made his standpoint questioning the idea of Bleach. And as you guys see in the clip, I forgot dude's Terry Alice, I believe. Terry, sorry, I don't want to mention his name wrong, but Tracy, I think it's Tracy Allen, if I'm not mistaken. That's the brother's name. Yeah, so he mentioned that he pretty much in question the idea of demoting Bleach. When you think about Bleach, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Bankai, Soul Reapers. It's really unique. How the hell you wouldn't know it, right? Whereas Jujutsu Kaisen, what do you know Jujutsu Kaisen for? Like in a moment of glance, like someone said Jujutsu Kaisen, what is the first thing that should utter out your mouth? Right? It's like if someone tells you One Piece, what's the first thing you could utter out your mouth? That probably would have been cute for you, David, to say something because I don't know One Piece. If someone were to say Naruto, easy, Sasuke, multi-clone, shadow clone jutsu, any catchphrase you can ever think of, overall, no matter what it is, like just something of that format, right? He even mentioned Dragon Ball. Most people instantly say Kamehameha, right? Just like, again, certain things that are just so catchphrase, you can just say it off the top of your head. So when you think of Bleach, Bankai, it's just like when if you ever played Call of Duty, right? And notice what do the enemy usually say when they're coming for you. I forgot what that phrase were, but it's like they come in and attack. Like, I forgot what they say in Call of Duty, but yeah, it's like top of your head in instance. I don't know how much for those that are Jujutsu fans, you more likely would know that first thing that comes off your head. For me personally, no, because sadly enough, respectfully, I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen yet. Heard it's good.
But explain it to me. How in the world would they want to consider Jujutsu Kaisen as the emperor when it's still a baby?
Okay, first and foremost, I would have ultimately got there, but okay. And real quick, Eric, no, we don't do kibblers over here, but I understand you do. We don't do well. I do kibblers, but not to that extent, though. With that said, and they can only wish they can try to drop me down. With that said, yes, Jujutsu Kaisen is for sure a baby. There is not a much of a major push. It hasn't done anything close to what Bleach has done in a matter of time. It just hasn't. Like, if you told me right now, like literally, what massive amount of feats have Jujutsu Kaisen did? I guarantee it's not even the top 10 anime.
And here's the thing, though. How old is Jujutsu Kaisen? Like 2 or 3 years? Like
isn't Jujutsu Kaisen within the 2020s?
It's in the 2020s. Okay.
Right.
Bleach came out during the boom,
aka the 2000s,
of anime. On the Western soil. It was competing with some of the big hits. It was competing with Inuyasha. It was competing with Dragon Ball. It was competing with Mobile Gundam. It was competing with what I hate, Pokemon. Even though I consider Pokemon a pimp.
I mean, was it really competing with Pokemon when Pokemon was like more of a kid Saturday show?
Even with the kid, but it was gaining ground. It was gaining popularity. We'll talk about the metric. When we talk about the metrics,
Yeah, we talking about that stuff. Yeah,
that was.
game mods.
I think that was a cheat. Pokemon was like a cheat sheet.
I mean, between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were cheats. It was instant gratification.
Pokemon with a pipe piper. Every parent was under control by the kid. I want Pikachu. I want a Pokemon. Like I said, it went from Pokemon toy, Pokemon merchandises to the game called Pokemon Go. And when they had,
but at least with Pokemon Go is on the app now. So
yeah, but remember that time they had that BS going on, but there was a rare Pokemon in Central Park, and you see everybody was on the news. I remember that scene. When they show people driving up to Central Park, jumping out of their car, like they lost their mind, running into Central Park, trying to get a real Pokemon on Pokemon Go.
hey, see, but guess what? You know, they do people favors. They get you out there, do a little exercise, a little bit of movement. You can't lose there. You can't lose.
You wonder why I hate Pokemon?
You can't lose. You just can't lose. See, it's an adventure. It's an adventure. Just imagine if people told you, "Hey, you have a great chance of winning something very awesome if you go to the next state."
That
People may do a
game,
trick.
that game almost got banned from New York City because of that.
Well,
Who would have known that Pokemon would still had that juju? That's what I want to call it. That juju on people.
that's how it works. That's how it works.
And for the game still
I mean,
going
think
on.
about it, because you got to think about it, right? It's like, it's in a sense, it's like you're giving someone a overall restart by saying, "Hey, Pokemon Go," making them actually travel to collect Pokemon, like they're actual Pokemon trainers and catchers. It actually let them live the experience. Think about it. Yu-Gi-Oh! It gave you the actual experience of being a duelist. The only difference is it's been out a little bit longer. So it's way more content. So, you know.
But it's funny, the game is still going on. But it's not with YouTube. 'Cause when they first, it was like, what is this? People were about to lose their job doing Pokemon Go in the office.
Oh, yeah.
Look, no, that's what I'm saying. When you come to the anime, we talk about the art, they discuss about who are the emperor of anime. We have to stick to a particular standard. Either we like it or we don't.
Well, yeah. Well, also too, if you also understand the definitional term of 'cause I haven't do this yet. Hold on. Because the hard part of doing this discussion was getting a solidary definitional term and locking down that term to a very strong degree. Because of course it's gonna say it's gonna say a ruler of great power and rank, especially one ruling an empire, right? As far as one of the many ways that you can look at it, I gotta look at it from a more better.
Because before you came on the show, right, I give it a perfect example. Right? I played the clip of the girl who altered her Mount Rushmore in anime. Okay, fine. That's her Mount Rushmore, even though it's out, even though it's not up to date. If we were to talk about NBA, who will continue to be the Mount Rushmore of NBA? Are they going to talk about the new players of today, or they will talk about the player that led for Impact?
Well, see, here's the only thing I'm gonna sit here and tell you on that part. I wouldn't never use NBA or the NFL or any of that. And the reason why I wouldn't do that is because people are very skewed on who they believe is their Mount Rushmore.
True.
Everyone has a different Mount Rushmore.
But those who know the game, we want to mention who the Mount Rushmore, who they mention.
Yeah, those that know the game, but even people in general that know the game, they could say it. But the thing is, anyone can mention a lot of people. Like, you can mention a lot of people, regardless how you want to look at it. it's going to be there. But is everyone's idea going to say these are the 4? There ain't no debating. No, everyone's going to have a different 4. Everyone's going to have a different 4. It's like, for instance, same way with hip hop. If you told me top 5, oh yeah, who are you going to put there? It's not going to be squared across the board. Especially when most of these motherfuckers don't even listen to the main people that are going to be on that list. So what are you talking about?
True.
So no. I wouldn't use this. This is on a whole different caliber, whole different discussion base. Yeah, if you're talking about creators, we're talking about the actual anime. But that will be a different notion. Hold on, let's see.
And this is why we doing this argument, because not this argument, but this because I've seen more than enough clips that while they send to me that I want to slap you. Literally, like, what the hell you're talking about? Because when Wally showed me the list from the 2000 and 2009, 2000 we had, remember I said, Hajime no Ippo. My son watched that. That's one cool. FLCL, original video animation. Influenced Inuyasha started in 2000. Fruit Baskets. Digimon Tamer. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Azumanga Diao. The 12 Kingdoms. Hanbei Remy. Yeah, Kino Journey. Wolf Rain. I watched it. That was Wolf Rain. Not a joke.
All right, so hold on. Before you keep going, so here's some like a breakdown depiction of the like an emperor in this case, right? So domain, it says an emperor rules over an empire, which is a large political structure encompassing multiple nations, kingdoms, and what's that word? Damn, I forgot his name. Territory, sorry. Often with diverse populations and cultures, all under a single supreme authority. So in a sense, right, if you were to consider this in anime, it's pretty much saying how dominant is it around the world. What's going on down with its Gochu, man? But it's pretty much how far does it reach? How far in depth does it reach out? Right?
Oh.
So again, you have to think about how far in range. Again, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, they go far in range. Jujutsu Kaisen, again, good, more likely good anime. It's been heard around. I know people talk about it, but is it that far in range? That is that tier. And if so, why has no one talked about it like that?
Then you had Mobile Gundam. We had Zoid.
I mean, those are also good, but as far as top of the top,
Battle of the Planet. Seiya.
no, say no, that's a different conversation.
This is something that I realize people don't really know much about anime. They just feel the new ones out there. No disrespect, but the new one is pretty good, yeah. But it didn't get there without the old ones setting the path and paving the way for them.
Right. So real quick, I'll also go to another one. Hierarchy. The title emperor is traditionally recognized as the highest monarch's rank, surpassing that of a king. A king rules a single kingdom, and in an imperial system, a king might owe allegiance or tribute to an empire. Into an emperor, sorry. But yeah, so to that, again, there is a rankage, right? There is a rankage. You can be, in a sense, Jujutsu Kaisen could be a king, right? But it never over trumps card that of an emperor at its hope. Meaning you can be good anime, don't mean you stepped over the OG though.
Space Battleship Yamato.
Yeah, the Star Wars / Star Trek of this genre. And
So,
then,
I think what we need to do, like our last show we did 3 years ago, right? At Big 3, we need to post that particular PowerPoint on the Spot AQ Network post, and make it elementary. I can have it on my end too, because You need to understand the criteria when judging things.
No, yeah, no problem with that. But here's another one, right? Authority. So historically, emperors were often viewed as having superior or absolute authority, uh, consolidating power through the, the rule, military conquest, and political maneuvering. So again, overall, right? When you just look at this for what it is, right? It's just really like how far in depth across the spectrum, not just in Japan, but even widespread. How far in depth is these animes? And if you question Bleach being at the top, again, how do you think it got there? How do you think it got there? Why, when you hear the big three, that name is always ringing every single time? Why? So if you question it, I think you don't understand to some extent why people say it. And granted, you may say people are gaslighting, or well, okay, let me say that, not gaslighting, but you may say people are quote unquote boosting about Bleach, and it's not really that great. But if that was the case, why is it known across the board amongst everyone? So
Good answer. Good question.
So yeah, you just can't sit there and say, "Oh, it's just there because for whatever," or it's there because people just keep patting the name, but reality ain't that good. No, it's one of a kind. Show me somewhere else that has Soul Reapers. Show me somewhere else where you get a transforming, or where you get a power system that's based upon a sword. Like, there's some other animes that sort of have a power system with swords, but ultimately, well, not ultimately that diverse than Bleach, to where it goes into a tangent. There really isn't that much. And then when you think about it from a culture standpoint, when you think about it, who do Bleach actually represents in anime in a sense? When you think about it, Bleach, based upon its structure of Soul Reapers and all these other things, you may say that goes to the Mexican culture, to the Islander culture that live with that philosophy of life and death. When you think about that, think about what culture that's representing in a sense of Filiosos.
So, on that argument you just put out there, that it's not safe to say to be Mobile Suit Gundam is the emperor of mecha anime.
If we're talking about in genres, in most cases, yeah. And by most cases, I mean pretty much, yeah, there ain't no debating it. Because when you look at mech, there hasn't really been a divisive mech that took it over. Like Zoids could have probably been that one mech on a side that probably can challenge because of doing the animal spectrum. Mm-hmm. But because of how dominant Mobile Suit Gundam is in all its variations, and even though, yeah, you touch on one particular thing as far as the overall wrenching of, power and government and everything else, and always piling the suit, but it goes in depth to a lot of things overall as far as what people would think of in Mobile Suit Gundam, because at the same time it touches such a very pivotal story. And granted, you may say it's sort of repeating, but it's in a different spectrum that constantly keeps selling and showing visuals, which makes you look back at the world and be like, yeah, we're in a very gun hold grip them by the, you know what, I ain't gonna say what Trump said. We're very much in a very locked down system where we're being hung hold by people in the government that precedes us. In reality, you think, oh, they're supposed to help and serve the people, when in reality they're serving themselves and their own greedy ambitions.
My point.
So, yeah, if we were actually doing the full-on show within genres, mech definitely would be held down by Gundam, hands down. I don't see no one else touching that. I mean, you ultimately, well, first and foremost, you ultimately pay homage to the one that started mech, but ultimately, other than that, I think the passing of the torch would be Mobile Suit Gundam, as far as taking it through a whole new generation that so far can't be eclipsed by no one else.
I'm glad you mentioned that one out. I'm really, really glad. But this is why I said what I said. This is why I do what I do. We can't continue this bullshit whereby the level of bias or level of conversation that being put out there is not really adding up at all. To be quite frank. Because when you mention Mount first, when you mention emperor, you mention ruler of that particular class. And if anyone knows the numbers of anime that came out during the 80s, 90s, talk to what's going on to the 70s and 60s, it wasn't that simple at all. It was not. Now, every time you have this dispute or this argument, this anime is whack. I'm sorry, no one should not talk about no old anime if you haven't done your homework on it.
Well,
We are
right
aware.
now, David.
You and I are aware that about 90 to 95% of present anime is based on the foundation that was established before them by the older animes.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not sure. Well, yet, I'll talk about, okay, you'll talk about, okay, let's do this thing. But that will be each one of the comments. Is this. We cannot speak about the emperor of anime if you don't look past at the kingdom anime. There's certain king in the anime, the big three, is running for the title for emperor. And that's actually correct. So, going forward, how will you establish such standards for the emperor anime?
Well, like I said,
and another thing, is it possible for these emperor of anime to lose their seat?
well, yeah. Well, first and foremost, like I said, I didn't get a chance to do it all because, of course, I just got sick at the bad timing, which is pretty much my fault. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. But how I was to the idea of how I'm looking at the where would I position the framework of Emperor? I mean, this definitely goes pretty much in line to what we did before in a couple weeks ago, right? Same idea criteria with all the same bandwidth. The only difference is now you really have to touch on more than just the anime or the manga. You have to go morally in depth. How much does it really dominate? Because if you look back just in Japan alone, how much does it dominate there? Then how much does it widespread? Again, David talked about Pokemon. If you're talking about the idea of that niche within anime where Pokemon's in, completely dominated the whole atmosphere beyond non-return. You just can't say it. It's literally an emperor. The chances of that being taken down is literally impossible because the body of work is too deep. And plus, let's be real here. I think if I'm not mistaken, if Pokemon has a patent where no one can't really challenge it, it's never going to be challenged ever. Because who's going to come with the Pokemon? Because technically Digimon is the only challenger, but Digimon is not in the same pocket as Pokemon. If you understand story dynamics that's been there. So, yeah, no. No. You ain't really knocking out Pokemon. But even to the point of just One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, as far as just the main three, before we even touch on a possible four, right? Who's outbeating Bleach? You have to outsell Bleach to take Bleach spot. You ain't doing that. And the creator's taking a back seat. You still ain't gonna do that. He said fluffy. He said fluffy. He said fluffy color anime. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm not gonna bother to do that. But yes, who's gonna take out Bleach? Who's gonna take out One Piece? It ain't gonna happen. There's too much there. Then you have to think to yourself, well, how much the designery in the atmosphere of Japan One Piece got going on? Right. I actually did this too. The best selling manga. I keep saying book. but technically it's a book, but yeah. The bestseller is across the board. And I know it's a little bit small the way David's showing it right now, so you can't really be in tell. But let me show you. I'll just tell it from my side as I'm looking at it. If anyone looked at Dragon Ball, you know what this little girl robotic character looks like because they literally did a crossover with this meme with this character.
Mhm.
And then there's another one. Okay, I forgot what this anime is called that got this dude, but I know what they're talking about. Then there was one. The 1986 was literally the Fist of the North Star. Then 6 years from 1987 all the way to 1992 was Dragon Ball. Then you had 4 years of 1993 all the way to 1996 with Slam Dunk. Then you have 1 year of 1997. I cannot be sure what the anime name is, but that had a moment. Then you had the Inspector Khan. That had 2 years, 1998 and 1999. One Piece pretty much had a lock-in. There was only 2 different animes at a time of that year that stopped One Piece from having a whole year rollout. And again, respectfully, I haven't watched One Piece, but you gotta respect how good this. You gotta respect how deep this is if it's constantly having almost every year locked as the best-selling manga, which is crazy. Fucking crazy.
Here's my question.
05 was Nana and 06 was okay. I can't tell what 06 is, but
here's my question.
crazy.
Look at One Piece. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17-year dominance.
And Jujutsu Kaisen only has
What
2.
God?
Sorry, Jujutsu Kaisen only has 3. But yeah, it should be on the list. And granted,
Yeah,
but even before, right? I know people say, well, then why? Okay, if One Piece is so dominant, it's fine that it's on the list. So why Naruto and Bleach on the list? Hello, you're competing with someone that's right there with you in the same timeline. What do you expect? If you told me who was the top 5 nominees, I guarantee you Naruto and Bleach was there.
Oh, this smells disgusting.
And this is something that
The honey smells
when you have to
disgusting.
show show this is the bestseller after 60 One Piece have reclaimed its throne. One Piece is one of those anime that is never going to die with that throne. Hear what Eric says. Can I answer that one?
Not okay. He's talking about Black Angels, Alita. I think so. Okay. No,
Get it right. We're gonna do some Chinese tea, but I don't want to go too far because we might do another second part to this show.
no, yeah, we're gonna definitely do a rerun because, like I said, I want to make sure I lock this down so there's no in betweens. Because right now, I ain't gonna lie, this is morely just a conversation now. This is just morely us talking. We not have nothing concrete to give you because the one thing I wanted to do with this show was because like Jalopy had to argue, he wanted to argue why is Bleach there. Well, again, if you're gonna argue why Bleach there, who are literally up there to take that seat? Who do you have at that dominance? Because there's a thing you have to really look at. The manga sales. Who's overtop his manga? Who overtop Bleach manga sales? You don't know yet. As far as how impactful, how widespread is it? Are these other animes? Are they in gaming? How deep? Movie sales when they show their animation movies. There's a whole lot more to be done here. Oh no, definitely something to watch. But there is a lot to consider with this, right? And manga is just only one part, but there's a whole widespread of everything else you want to consider. There is a big plateau to consider. So, again, because even to what David said earlier, right, with Gundam, because again, you will see Gundam in Japan, and they literally built that big towering robotic suit for your pleasure to see that bad boy and actually take a picture one day if you ever get a chance. Then you have the Naruto setup. Then you have the Dragon Ball setup. There's just so much. If you're not being out there designed in any way, shape, and form, you just don't got it like that in most cases. You just don't. You just don't. You're good. There's no debating that. But are you quality, greatness good? Is the fight that you have to keep fighting with yourself to even question if One Piece deserved to be there. Now, yes, there definitely is a moment One Piece took a hiatus, which, let's be honest, any good anime needs to take a hiatus because you don't want these writers to start, falling asleep, as I would say. Because, again, health is still something. And just because these guys are just sitting at a desk writing and thinking, that still takes a lot of strain because it ain't easy being a writer. If it was, a lot of us will be writers, and we're not.
Hold on. Did we talk about how many manga writer and creator who end up losing their life due to their bad health and amount of stress?
Yeah, we mentioned it piece by piece here and there. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just
when we were reviewing certain anime, and we're reviewing the person who created the anime.
And why has it been on a hiatus? Part of it is their health.
Hunter x Hunter. How many years hiatus that was on?
Was it like?
And the creator of Hunter X,
something like that.
Yeah, but we gotta find out. The creator of Hunter x Hunter is also the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Which, again, still love that one.
Oh, okay, Yu Yu Hakusho. That's not a good running for the Emperor?
The thing is,
yes or no?
2 seasons. You have to think about the hype on the big upscale on the manga sales. You don't get me wrong. Yu Yu is remembered by a lot of people that were in the 90s. It's very much so. If you're not from the 90s, you more 90s to the early 2000s, you probably don't know shit about Yu Yu Hakusho. That's your ass cheeks. But other than that,
they did the live action version of it though.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Live actions don't help. No, they don't help in most cases. Oh, they don't help the argument in some cases as far as selling the pureness of it. But yeah.
Is it the show called Metal Alchemist or what?
No, Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Another great anime.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Brotherhood. Yeah, that was in the 09s.
So imagine we have many big Slam Dunk will be there. Toshio Basco will be. Okay, this is something I've been trying to explain to you. You need to do your freaking homework before you start calling out what will be your Mount Rushmore anime or what will be the Emperor if you don't know who established a pathway for others to follow. It's what it is. I'm not going to lie about it. Because I could continue to name and remember and rename and name.
But okay, watch this, David. So let me hit you with this, right? So let's look at it from the other side of the foot. So let's say hypothetically, because we don't know how long Jalopy Bung has been an anime fan overall, right? But let's say as far as a nuanced person, right? Like overall, right? If you told me in the nuanced realm of 2010s to current, what would you say? Give me 5 off your head. Like, what would you say right now? Top 5 animes right now. Like, just give me top 5. Like, it don't matter what order. Just give me 5 that you say in the 2010s to 2020. Well, 2010s to current. Like, what would you say is up there? David, are you using your mic? Because I'm not hearing you.
Oh yeah, I muted. You put me on the spot. I'm thinking right now. So you mentioned 2010. One Piece is still airing in 2010. I cannot miss that part.
Well, yeah, but we know it started in 2000. That's what I'm saying. Like, as far as the era, the new era of anime that were in the 2010s to now, name 5 of those. Not ongoing, just the newer brands that debuted.
That would be hard. I can't remember anyone. I can't remember exactly which one. That would be hard.
Okay, let me look up.
I've watched so much anime. It's not even funny. That would be extremely hard for me. Without contacting my assistant. Assistant, please help me on. But I abused myself. I told my assistant, today is your day off. I'm not gonna abuse you again. So while talking to his assistant to help me out, because my assistant taking a break today, but she don't like how I abuse her. Well, you cannot sue me anyway. So I don't know what you're complaining about.
So horrible. You're so horrible. All right, so if
Hold on.
okay, so
Hold on.
the 5
Hold on. How am I horrible when they're all on this channel? When I come on the stage, keep playing I Am Group BS. Who's horrible?
David, we talking about the here and now, what you just said, not what. I ain't gonna go there with you. Okay, look. So these are the 5. So we got Attack on Titans, Hunter x Hunter, Steins Gate, however you properly say that, Mob Psycho 100, and then I don't know how to properly say this, so I don't want to butcher this. So let me hand this to you. Oh wait. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me hit this over to you because I don't want to mention this wrong.
Butcher the names.
Right, because I don't want to mention that wrong.
Oh, Farron.
Okay, that's why he's probably say that. Farron Beyond Journey's End.
Well, I thought in 2023, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But like I said, top 10 from 2010 to now. So that's what it put. Those were the top 5 that it selected. And then it has honorable mention. It has Vinland Saga. It has Demon Slayer. It also has I don't know this one. Let me give you this because I don't know how to say this properly. Puella Manji Magica. I think that's how you properly say it, but just in case,
I
let me
believe.
just hit you with that. So the list that I just named out, this is honorable mentions of
Well, Magi Madoka Magica. That's like the magical girl anime.
Yeah, that's the magical girl anime.
Sorry, ladies, I don't do your stuff.
And then
Aikyo, an anime based on volleyball. My son watched that one too. What anime?
right.
Really good.
So that's what they did. So that's pretty much 9. So that's 9 overall. That top 5 as far as what the AI thinks, and then 4 more honorable mentions of possible animes that they would say it's up there. But notice one thing, right? I asked that specific question. AI, this is AI's mindset. No Jujutsu Kaisen mentioned. Why not?
Good question.
Again, Eric, this is just one of my things I got going on. So let me be, man. Let me be. But I get you, though. Thank you. But, right. So going back to it. So, again, Attack on Titans, very much reasonable. I know a lot of people would say in reason, Attack on Titans is up there. Especially when you think about the backstories of Attack on Titans as far as visuals. Like, think about this. David and Goliath. You're dealing with giants. You're dealing with Mini-Man. Who wins, the Mini-Man or the giant? Or as far as understanding the architectural visuals of what that is in what we understand in the Bible of these giants, you also know that too, and anything else of that nature, right?
True.
As far as the particular, I forgot what those people are named, but you know what I'm talking about if you know. But yeah, very much impact. A lot of people will say Attack on Titans. Hunter x Hunter, I'll say it again. I'll say it again till the wheels go home. Best power system in anime across the board. Fight me on it if you want to. Best power system. But definitely up there, right? I haven't seen Gates, so I can't respectfully say. Mob Psycho 100. I actually was interested in seeing this. I haven't get a chance to though, so I actually want to see that. And then Beyond Journey's End. Again, very interesting fantasy. I was also wanted to see that, but again, Demon Slayer definitely has a shot because what it did in movie sales, even though it's animated movies, is high.
No, the movie still was doing sure get to Batman. The sure get to Superman.
Fantastic.
Marlon was pissed off with Demon Slayer. I'll say it again. One of our favorite comedians, Marlon Wayans, was pissed off as hell.
He lost anime.
When he heard that his own movie
Got slapped up, crapped up, and shacked up
got bitch slapped,
repetitively.
got mollywop, got pimped,
Got pushed to the curb like you was some random bit.
bingo.
Got sidelined like Ray J did his ex-girlfriend. He was like, stop, drop your pull.
Hey, you think I'm the bad one here now?
Hey, I have to wake up. I was late. I was feeling sick. I may as well do something for the show.
Hey, you think I'm the bad guy here? You think
Hey, I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. But yeah.
I'm sorry. This is Anime Unlock. I'll let you guys know on this platform, on this podcast, no anime is safe. I'm sorry, not even celebrity is safe right now. Because if I want to do dirty, you could have played that new jam that came out recently, courtesy of ABBA and Preach. Shout out to ABBA and Preach. That song is slamming. I played that thing almost 10 to 15 times. No woman.
Oh my goodness. I'm not even gonna start with you that crap. But yeah,
Now,
so again,
if ABBA, no, I throw this out there. I'm doing it on purpose. ABBA, if you can make another remake of that song and put Piccolo and his people dancing.
oh my goodness. Don't do it.
Blame him. He got me on that.
Hey,
And
look,
he remind me
Look.
that the Namekian are all male, no female.
and guess what? It's truth, but I did that to throw shade because of a certain situation of how the song went when they were doing this in their reasoning. It was made because I wanted to understand why is this race not needed an equivalence of having women amongst them. That's all making sense because again, it's still content. And let's be honest, most people wouldn't know why are the Namekians are such a race that they don't have women, where they literally can birth their own kids by coughing up a freaking egg. Which honestly, by now you would think, why the hell Piccolo don't got kids yet? Or is it possible that the Namekians can only have kids when they're about to die and they cop up the next gender? Oh, sorry, the next life. Because so far, that's been the only way we have been able to push out new kids. That's the only time that you see the Namekian push out a new kid. I'm just being real. Just being real. You two are the Morris Day and... Hey, which one's which? Which one's which? This guy would have
I'm
talked about
sorry.
the Morris Day. And then...
I don't have mercy to certain anime, and some anime will get it. But let's be real, Marlon Wayans, even on his cat, no, not the cat. People would hit him. No, this is anime. We're like F anime. How can an anime movie beat my movie? No, it didn't beat no movie. It called Demon Slayer. It slay your movie. It mollywop your movie. Like you tell how Reggie did his girlfriend. Or how on a strong nigga did his wife by doing, you know what? Yeah. You're not wanted.
Really? Really? Ah, we're not wanted. No. You think that's worse? That's not worse. You remember what John Travolta did to his wife when he thought that she betrayed her? What did he do?
Oh shit.
Tossed her over the freaking thing
Oh,
and put her on the tracks. Oh.
Because imagine at the end of the year and say Demon Slayer is the highest box office sale overall. No actor not gonna hit it. They're like, how can an anime movie beat my? Cause you ain't shit, my nigga.
Oh man.
No, but let's be real though. Demon Slayer creativity, artwork
Style.
is very unique of its own. It stand out. Well, how many samurai movies before Demon Slayer came out and laid the framework for it to get this big?
Right. But let's think about this in a sense of Demon Slayer. Well, think about Bleach. Let's go back to Bleach. You want to talk about influence? How much anime has Bleach influenced throughout the years? Because I remember there was a clip. I have to find it so I can add it to this when we do it next time for the re-up. Bleach has expanded on influencing other animes. You could say Demon Slayer, in a sense, is one of those.
And that's a big deal, though.
Yeah, Eric, good point. Who directed said movie, by the way?
Don't take it from me. He said it. Don't blame me.
Oh man,
I'm just saying.
Tough. That's tough.
Whenever you have these type of conversations about certain things deep in anime, if you have some 2 cents, some nugget to drop, let us know. We give you the link. Bring your argument. Because when we did the big 3 for each era, I gave you the criteria how you were basing on.
And that reminds me, speaking about the criteria. Wait a minute. What did we name for 2010 and 2020? Like, did we even give Jujutsu Kaisen that nod on that one?
We try to do that, but it's
No,
still
well,
fresh.
no, it was sort of telling, but I'm saying, like, was it even on the list? Did it even make it? I don't remember.
I believe we did, yeah.
All right, hold up, because now I'm gonna have to research and check because I don't even remember if I even was even on that particular list at that time.
And this is why I think when we do, after the show is over, we will put the link up on the show that we will reference to this topic. That's what we want to do going forward now. But whenever the other show that we did, if we were like, we want to put some information so you can understand what we're talking about, we will put the reference to it and put the link on the movie of the show we did so you can watch it yourself and listen. Because right now, if we're going to do a part 2, I hope Manjo will be able to show up. Then again, he need to get permission from his wife.
Well, I mean, there won't. It's not really much of a part 2. This is really going to be more. I mean, I won't say this is a part 2. I'll say this is the original will be a clarity, and then we'll probably do a run back to see what other people think since they weren't there. But hold on, let me look at this because I don't even remember which one I even select. Right. Okay, that's that. All right. So wait a minute. Hold up. All right, sorry about that. That was in there. Let me see. Because Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, those are the main. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm tripping. Okay. So yeah, Attack on Titans, My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man, and then for the 2020s, I said Demon Slayer. I put down Demon Slayer. Okay, so Jujutsu Kaisen was on that. It was on that with Attack on Titans. The one I just mentioned earlier about Beyond Journey's End, that was also on there. So yeah. Oh, sorry. Spy X Family was also on there. And then Chainsaw Man is another one. which also Chainsaw Man is another one that did get a big up in the movie side as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. So okay, so look, it's mentioned now. Granted, Jujutsu Kaisen is mentioned. Let's get that framework done, right? It's mentioned, but I would sit here and say this as a cornerstone obvious, right? Okay, what the heck are you doing now?
Now, I want you to hear this thing. This is why we talk about emperors and I want to hear his mouth.
All right, go.
Don't take it from me. Take it what he said.
Holy shit! I don't think you guys really understand how impressive One Piece selling this much actually is, so let's talk about it. The post says that it's crazy to think that One Piece is the only manga that can actually compete with the most famous comic books. And we got Superman at 600 mil, One Piece at 578 mil, Batman at 484 mil, and Spider-Man at 387 mil. But let's look how long it took to get these numbers. Almost 90 years, almost 90 years again, and almost 60 years. And One Piece has only been going on for a measly 30 years almost? So One Piece has only had a third the amount of time that Batman and Superman had, and it's about to surpass them. But that's not all. If you don't know anything about the comic book industry, superheroes usually have multiple issues that have multiple authors. So there have been hundreds of people writing stories for Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. But there's only one mind behind One Piece. That's Oda. So not only did he sell more in a lesser amount of time, but it's also a series that is written by one author that is outselling series that are made by multiple authors. And it's situations like these that's really making me think that One Piece might be taught in history books one day. But what do you guys think? Let me know it down in the comments.
That is very much true. Because again, this is the sad reality that a lot of people have to face. This is what we talk about dominance. See, One Piece is for sure an emperor. You can't deny it. It's coming to comic books and slapping comic books in the face. And that's one of the top 3 OGs. Literally, in comics. The top 3 OGs.
And he's not the only one that's saying it too.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, this is actually insane. One Piece just surpassed Batman in sales and is closing in on Superman in terms of volume sales. Because Batman and Superman, some of the most famous superheroes of all time, fuck that, not even some of, the most famous superheroes of all time, who have existed since the 1930s, with so many different iterations of the characters, so many different versions of the characters, so many different issues. It's not even like manga that's sold by volumes, they're sold by issues. And there is One Piece. What is even crazier about it is that the sales per volume argument doesn't work, or the sales per issue, because comic books are sold by issue, and there are over 3,000 issues of Superman and 2,500 issues of Batman. And there is currently 112 volumes of One Piece. What's even crazier is that when you look at the top 9 comics of all time, 3 of them are manga. Manga just recently became a worldwide phenomenon within the last 2 decades. So I think that when something that came out 20 years ago is outselling something that's been out for over 80 years with literally thousands of issues, it goes to show that there is something that manga is doing that comic books are not doing. Everybody can have their own opinion and their own take on it, and we can argue this from now to the end of time, but clearly something about comic books is not working anymore and needs to change. That's if they want to keep up in this modern day and age. But let me know how y'all feel about this.
Like it or hate it, but it's true. And again, think about this. Remember what I said, right? Emperors stand over kings. You may have a lot of kings in comics, but they ain't like One Piece. They ain't like the creator.
If I said it, oh, you be biased. Oh,
Hey,
Two
hey, I always said this
different
before. You can't fight facts in stats.
Two
Mostly
different
stats.
people came out with facts, my brothers, my sisters. You said one creator bitch slapped multiple writers for Batman.
Don't forget Superman. I mean, sorry, Spider-Man.
He did a mannequin challenge on their ass. You can touch this.
And again, this is not to sit here and say like, well, for David, it's more so I'm shitting on, but this is all he's choosing the shit on. But for me, this is the visual saying something went bad here. Because you got to think to yourself this: if we were to sit here and say each different issue amongst each different writer at that time, how much of those particular stories were that dominant within those stories? For instance, if the writer of Superman, like if you told me what was the most dominant writer of Superman at that time and who sold the most, now you have the question, well, who sold the most and then what writer sold the less? Because even in that, you have to say to yourself, what's the bulk of that 600 million? Because at that point, then you have to sit there and ask yourself, why didn't it bother to stay with this comic book writer to be the main person of Superman? Granted, for whatever reasons, because of course, again, these writers are essential to your development of this character being what it is, right? But this is the one knock I will give on Marvel and DC, in which honestly, if you know a couple of other comic book people that also give the same knock to Marvel and DC in a sense, where you guys are, yes, you may be the towering giants and everything, but at least with Marvel, we know like there was like one main character, like it was pretty much the OG, and then other people as an addition. But overall, I mean, you got to sit and ask yourself, when do you actually realize maybe we just need one solid writer? We already have the concept for the character. We just need one solid writer, the definitive solid writer, and let that be the person for the rest of their years. But switching left and right, I mean, again, I'm not saying respectfully don't work, because of course there's different versions. You can go multiversal, everything like that. But then when you do that, sometimes y'all don't even sell that right. Respectfully. It becomes a thing. It becomes a thing.
So we're almost in a 2-hour mark, and I have cheated on a couple of names proudly. But I'll be crystal clear about it. If we're gonna be bluntly honest with the anime community, we can't having people be bullshit. Talking about the Mount Rushmore anime and you're putting newer name when they have not built a bigger footprint than the one before them. Can't really go about that. So Wally, what is going on for the rest of the week? Because I know we can go in and start digging receipts, start pulling with there. I put enough receipts already just to do the No Woman Challenge.
We ain't talking about that. We ain't not talking about that. So slow your roll. Let that go.
What about the white daddy?
We ain't talking about that neither. These are not topics that we don't need to worry about.
I'm just doing the shout out for Album because
well, shout out to them because they're definitely out there doing some crazy trolling. Like literally some crazy freaking trolling.
It's contagious to the point where it's hard not to laugh. Well, he had to walk away from the song immediately because he know that if he listens any further,
I'm just not. But real quick, so for Saturday, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we have What If Yoda Fought Anakin on Mustafar, right? That's the next tomorrow show. So that is Star Wars. So all y'all Star Wars fans, bring y'all butts to the conversation. Leading up to Sunday, that will be to be announced. It hasn't been posted yet, as far as I can remember. Nope, it has not been posted yet. For coming back on Tuesday, we have Not Good Enough, Breaking the Cycle. Wait for that conversation. This is Wednesday will be announced when it pops up onto the platform, and then Tuesday is Socially Awkward, How to Connect with Confidence. And then and then of course we'll be posting our show, which will be announced after me and David agree on a particular topic that we want to sell back. So give us time for that, and then we will definitely drop that onto the channel. It should be this upcoming Monday. We should have the topics up on the channel. So yeah. But just to let you know, right now we're going to be closing out the rest of the year with these creative topics where we're talking about starting next year, though, we will be bringing back the shows. So don't worry, viewers.
And we're going to do a redo of the Dragon Ball franchise.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a couple of redos around
during the daytime. When we find out the day we're going to do it, we'll let you guys know, and we have it announced.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. So definitely. So yeah, like I said, next year we will get back to doing more of the show topics, giving newer people and even people that know of the anime that pick and choose based upon how big the anime is, based upon series and everything. We may just do uploads with them. We may do an actual we may do uploads as far as reacting to them, like 1 to 2 episodes a piece, and then do an overall live stream show for them. Pick and choose. But one thing's for sure, viewers' choice. You guys that had your anime out there, or you mentioned an anime in one of the many shows that we did, that will be collected, and that will have its moments, aka the viewer's arc. So right, we will have that arc, because so far we had the Peter's arc, which is pretty much our startup. We had David's arc. We had the creative topics arc so far as I made so far throughout this time. Eventually we will have the viewers arc, which you guys, like I said, any of the animes that you guys have mentioned throughout the time, throughout any shows, videos, shorts, they will be in there. And then of course, eventually I will throw in my arc as far as animes that I want to talk about. So yeah, that will be the next line. But for right now, throughout the remaining of the year, we will be making a bunch of creative topics, and then that'll be the closeout for every Friday.
And I'll also say this again. It's open for anyone who'll be part of the panel of Anime Unlock who is heavy in anime, because we have a member who put the join, but he's heavily busy. That's Jessica Cassie. He's part of the crew as well. But whenever he's free, he's free to join in the conversation. But we're looking for other females as well, because we want to be hogging it, saying anime is a masculine thing. But want some lady who are heavy in anime, like Wife School Podcast. I know she watches anime. I don't know why she acting like she can talk about it on the panel.
Also, if you are someone that is on IG, or you can email based upon the channel, email Peter, or drop a comment under the video that you would like to join, and we'll get your info. We'll send out a link so that you guys can join ahead of time in the conversation. So yeah, but go ahead, David.
On that note, when we come back next year, we are hoping to get more topics. We'll get back to reviewing some new old anime as well, because based on that format we're doing some introduction of anime that people have not heard of, so they can go back and watch. At the same time, we do review of upcoming or new or recent anime, so there'll be a balance. So by next year, we'll see what we're going to do about it, what we start talking on, which anime. And there's a lot of anime coming out next year. We do have a Discord server. The link is on the Spartan AQ network. And we're looking for people who will join the team to help build out the platform. But for the Anime Unlock team, looking for able-bodied mind who can bring that debate, bring that argument, and bring their own views.
And bring fun. Because we do have fun here. Trust me, we may be doing these debates, but it's all out of fun. It's all out of fun.
Sometimes we go a little too far with the fun.
That's part of the fun. That's sometimes part of the fun.
I know, because when we get to that Dragon Ball conversation, the shackle comes off.
Hey, look.
You take off.
No, again, I said what I said. People can hate me for it. Y'all can't prove otherwise.
Hey.
And guess what? I even got a clip this time to even back me up. So I wish some of y'all would tell me otherwise, that Vegeta can't beat Goku. Because I'm telling you right now, he can't.
I'm not going there. I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Because I'm telling you right now, y'all can't outprove it. Yes, there's certain moments you can say otherwise, but again,
shout out to Black Bomber.
I lined them up. I lined these up. You can't tell me.
Shout out to Black Bomber. Even though you invited her a couple of times, she wasn't able to show up, which is fine. We want to make sure we have a platform for people can come in here and.
Oh, look, Eric, don't worry, sir. Your homework that homework will be covered. Again, I'm just waiting to get the setup worked up. So once I get the setup, trust me, that's gonna be worked out. Don't worry about that. Right now, I'm just collecting a lot of things for my old PC. So you got to give me some time, Eric. But don't worry, I got you. I will drop that bad boy in the Facebook group chat if I have to. I'll do that just to send it your way, so you get it very quickly.
So what we'll do during the holiday, we'll work on all our past show and start putting the link of any reference show that will reference to that topic we were talking on that particular day. So you can click on that link and go back to the show that we did before that and get an idea what we were referring to. So what we're doing here, it's not no bullshit, but we going in doing the deep digging, looking about creator, publications, anime studio, what anime that have not been given the respect due, what the anime have been looked down upon, what you should never been, or those anime that actually sucks, aka Gungrave. They hit on your ass. On that note, it is CBN Tech Talk, aka Black David, aka Bear Paul. It is Wally, the paid debater, the legal analyst for the Team Vegeta. Don't mess with them. Don't say shit about them. Or
It's
I
not
cannot
Tim.
help you.
No. You ain't gonna keep doing that ish. You ain't gonna keep doing that ish. Again, I debate facts, sir. Debate facts.
He does.
Okay? I debate facts. And the facts of the matter is Goku barely has ever beaten Vegeta. Respectfully.
Well, we shall see you in the next 10 years.
The first saga of the Saiyan Saga, who really won that fight? No one did. But even then, during that fight, who would have won if it was completed? Vegeta was gonna bury that man. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do it sideways. You know that. Buried.
Okay.
Buried.
Well,
His bones were crushed.
Since the editor of Akira Toriyama have come join back the team, you can look forward for the next feature animes, the Dragon Ball franchise, see what it will cope up.
Y'all ain't gonna escape this. Trust me. I'm gonna have an exclusive separate video. I will break down piece by piece by piece, every which way. Don't you dare think I won't argue this shit.
And I will say this: if you know any anime group they want us to share the link to our broadcast, you let us know, leave it in a comment, and we'll look for that Facebook group. We'll join and drop the link on some of our shows that you look into, watch, and bring your comment, bring your thought process, so we can bring it to the next show. All right. On that note, good night. Be safe.
That reminds me, real quick, one thing I want to say before we click out. Some of the older shows too that I may have not been too much aware of, I might do a run back and rewatch those to give a fair, in-depth video reaction to see, because I do want to look at it. Because again, if you remember one of our earlier shows in the Peter arc where we were talking about a particular anime that he liked. Again, I haven't watched it, but I said certain things that weren't supposed to be said.
So since the holiday coming in, you will watch that during the holidays.
But I will be watching it eventually to reframe it. Because one thing, look, I had time to rethink of the concept, and one thing that bubbled in my mind is based upon, because I haven't seen it yet, but based upon how it's set up, if the way I'm thinking about it, if it's done the way it is, there is a way where I'll definitely get a different viewing of it, because I do think it had potential as far as a fusion mech. I'll speak on that.
So on that note,
I'll write that, Eric. Go ahead. Matter of fact, I'll just screenshot it. Go ahead.
keep it safe and keep it tight. Until the next show. Peace.